The Falcons are going to be sending airstrikes on offense all season long this year. You got Michael Penix entering year 2, who has a RPG for a left arm. He has one of the strongest arms in the history of football. He was making throws last season that only 1% of quarterbacks in this league have the ability to make. And you can definitely see why Raheem Morris and company fell in love and they drafted him. It took us all by surprise, but that pick aged perfectly because Michael Penix has the potential to evolve this Atlanta offense into the most explosive unit in the National Football this league. In the 3 games that Michael Penix started last year, 15.5% of his passing attempts resulted and plays that went for 16 yards or more. He led all quarterbacks in the last 3 games of the season in air yards per attempt at 10.2. The man just has a knack for generating big plays throwing the football. He can fit it into a cover 2 hole shot with a safety closing in. There's no such thing as a throw that you shouldn't make when you have Michael Penix, Mr. RPG for the lefty, at quarterback. And the Falcons plan on creating a nuclear offense around this extraordinary arm that they have back there. They're going to evolve this offense to where they're going to be more aggressive at pushing the ball downfield. He should end up leading the NFL in passing yards and yards per play when you have 2 really good big play threats out wide, and Drake London, who had the most quietest 1,200-yard season that you will ever see. He doesn't get enough respect. Drake London is the most underrated receiver in the NFL. The dude was absolutely balling out on my fantasy team last year. Darnell Mooney was a really underrated free agency signing that didn't get talked about too much, but he was really good for the Falcons last year. They quietly have one of the best receiving duos in the NFL going into this season. You got Bijan Robinson. We should see more of him in the passing game this year. What was so great about Bijan Robinson as a prospect when he was coming out of Texas was that he wasn't just your traditional running back. He has the ability to be a weapon. He can line out in the slot and play receiver. You can line him out wide and he can play outside receiver. There are just so many creative ways to get Bijan Robinson the ball that the Falcons haven't tapped into yet. So everything that the Falcons have around Michael Penix this year gives him the perfect situation to have a breakout season and to lead the Falcons to the NFC South crown this year. I have them winning this division. I don't have a lot of faith in Raheem Morris, but I believe in Michael Penix. And if you have a good quarterback, you can overcome average coaching, especially in a division that's home to nothing but average coaches. Raheem Morris, say what you want to about him not being trustworthy. He beat Todd Bowles twice last year with Kirk O'Chains. So if he can beat Todd Bowles, who isn't that good of a coach either, he can easily win this division with Michael Penix and possibly win a playoff game if they have that defense right. But this is an offense that's going to be incredibly prolific at just ripping off big plays in chunks. You're going to see a 15-yard gain here, a 30-yard gain there, a 50-yard touchdown bomb, Penix to Drake London there. This is going to be a really devastating offense when defenses have to game plan for this, because there's just certain things that you don't have an answer for. And with Michael Penix ripping off that left RPG, just making all kinds of impossible throws in tight spaces, I don't see too many offenses being more explosive than what the Falcons offense is going to be this year. I love me some Michael Penix. This is a quarterback that, coming out of Washington, was incredibly accurate throwing the deep ball, especially outside of the numbers. And although his completion percentage wasn't that impressive, remind you that he got thrown into a situation that he was never expected to be in. He never was supposed to play last year. The plan was that he sat for a year or two behind Kirk Cousins. But since Father Time came and snatched up Kirk Cousins and kidnapped him out of nowhere, Raheem Morris had to do what he could to salvage what was left of the season. And when he did that, you saw Michael Penix show a lot of promise, which is why this Falcons offense has evolved around him this offseason. And in 2025, you're just going to see an offense that has a lot of similarities to what the Bengals offense was when they made their Super Bowl run 3 years ago. This is what this offense reminds me a lot of. You got great receivers with the quarterback that's just relentless at attacking the ball downfield. I'm really excited for what the Falcons offense is going to be this season.